Let's talk about the Beatles. Have you heard of them?
They're this new sort of Liverpool group, is that right? I think they're going to be big.
Yeah, prog rock,
Prog rock.
underground. Yeah.
Are
No, the
you a big
Beatles.
Beatles guy?
I wouldn't say big. I like them. Some people, I think it's cool to not like the Beatles. I don't know
Yeah.
your stance on them yet, by the way, so I hope I've not offended you. So, but yeah, no, I think they're brilliant. I think they've transcended genres.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely am a fan of the Beatles. There's just something to be said about pretty much every album has got moments of absolute gold on it, and you've got to kind of respect how completely and utterly groundbreaking they were for the time. Even like through songwriting and recording and producing and playing like the first ever band to do a stadium show.
Mm,
You got to kind of respect them for that. And I kind
mm,
of go in phases of where maybe two or three times a year for a week I will listen to nothing but the Beatles, like just
mm,
straight up Beatles after Beatles. And I'll watch Get Back again, and then I'll kind of go off of them for a
mm.
bit. And then maybe 6 months later, 8 months later, I'll be like, oh, I'll hear it on the radio or put a CD in my car, and that'll kind of kick it right off again. And then I'll watch Get Back again.
Yeah. Well, I've been to the house in LA where I think they took LSD and wrote Sergeant Pepper, or it might have been
Oh,
Sergeant
okay.
Pepper.
Lucy in the Sky.
Yeah, yeah, and that was great. Yeah, Beatles are in the news again.
Yeah, well, there's four films coming out, isn't there? Or supposedly, four films are going to be created, focusing on the perspective of each member.
Yeah, is it the first time they've sold the rights as well to it? That's
I think so.
have they been resistant to doing it? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I think so. But they're sort of. It seems like they're creating like the Beatles cinematic universe,
the PCU.
the BCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing one film on each individual from the Beatles. Do you have a favorite Beatle?
George is my
Oh,
favorite Beatle.
the George is the cool answer, right? I think
George
if
is the
you,
cool answer. Who's your favorite Beatle?
I've heard too many stories about John that don't.
Yeah, John. It's one of those separate the art from the artist sort of deals, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'd go George.
George is cool. I got a lot of love for Paul McCartney as well. Macca,
Yeah.
who I think seemed like a really very cool guy. And now he's just sort of like everyone's sweet rock and roll granddad.
Did you see the clip of him in the car where
Yeah,
he's
he makes like a weird
he
cat
makes
noise. Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna clip it. I'm gonna clip it into this.
very
The
odd. I don't know. I
caption,
have no idea what the context of that is, but hilarious.
no, it's talking about someone being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then he just goes,
Fuck off. Ah.
"Yeah." Oh, that made me chuckle anyway. But yeah, people were speculating who's going to play each Beatle. Does anyone spring to
Yes,
mind?
the one thing that I saw that made me laugh the most was that the Ringo film should be like a Muppets film, whereas where Ringo is the only human character, everyone else is a Muppet. I think that would be great. And I like Ringo. I think Ringo gets a lot of shit when he is uh, a pretty iconic drummer. I play the drums myself, and
Why does he get flack?
I don't really know. I think it's kind of snowballed in sort of memes of itself, and Ringo's not even the best drummer in the Beatles, which I don't think anyone actually said, or at least that it wasn't, meant sincerely. And he seems to get a lot of flack because he's not like as pretty as the other boys, is he? And he's not as I don't know, he's just not got quite the sort of rock and roll swagger that the rest of the band have or had, I suppose. But Ringo is a timeless drummer, and without Ringo, the Beatles wouldn't have been what they were, I don't think.
No, no, definitely. I've just always it's one of them things where people don't like him or they make fun of him, but I've never
Hmm.
actually known the reason why. Like some bands
No.
sometimes get that, don't they?
Hmm.
Yeah, some
But yeah,
deservedly so though.
casting
But
wise, I'm not so sure. Do you know what periods that the films are focusing on? Is it like a
I
full sort of
don't know. I
autobiographical?
hope Paul's covers the period where he changes bodies and
Oh
of
yeah,
course,
where the car crash happens and he gets replaced by the fake
yeah,
car.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and still manages to be quite talented at music. It's a good one. Yeah. No, I've not read too much into. I don't know how much they've actually released about it. They've just kind of said it's
It's
happening,
very sort of
probably.
minimal. I think it was just sort of this might happen, and then the way
Mm.
that the internet does kind of jumped on it and snowballed it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Beatles album? I'd
Oh.
have to say Best of the Beatles.
What's that off? That's a...
That's Alan Partridge.
yeah. But they're one of them that different albums, different moods.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. I got a copy of Rubber Soul for Christmas, so that's been on my turntable quite a lot. But like you said,
Yeah.
it kind of varies. If you ask me the same question next week, it'd be something different.
Yeah. Well, so you're saying Rubber Soul now?
At this, timestamp, it is currently 6:37 on the 4th of May. No, March, 4th of March. And it is Rubber Soul. But yeah, like I said, ask me on the next episode, and it'll be something different.
Yeah, we'll keep asking you to find out, and I'll keep saying best of the Beatles.
Excellent.
um, yeah, so but I am looking forward to seeing what they come up with. They've obviously the Get Back was very popular, wasn't it, when it came out? Was
Yeah,
it what
I really liked Get
platform was
Back.
that?
It was on
Well, was it
Disney
Amazon?
Plus, and it
Disney Plus.
happened in the pandemic. I think it came out, so everyone had time to sit down and watch 8 hours of like studio footage. But
I
I thought it was really exceptional, and there's some brilliant moments in it. And there's like the best bit is where Paul is just like kind of noodling and playing, and
was going to
he
say
sort of
this
just
is it
he
where
sort of just
it's
pulls Get Back out
yeah,
of the air, and you're like,
mm.
how the fuck have you done that? That's incredible.
Especially when he died in a car crash and was
Well, yeah,
replaced, but
exactly. That's not
it
even the
makes
real
everything
Paul
even more
McCartney.
impressive. Yeah. No, yeah, good. Have you seen the other film that was yesterday?
I really strongly hated that film. Yeah.
I thought you might. I thought
It
you
was
might.
like it was sort of okay. It was an all right film. I kind of understood the premise of it, and then Ed Sheeran shows up, and at that point I was like, no, I'm done with that. I'm done with this.
I thought you'd like it because you'd like the part where they basically took the piss out of Oasis for being a
A
rip-off. And,
Beatles rip-off. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
because they were erased from Google, weren't they? And then
That's it.
they
Yeah.
search Oasis, and it's like, why aren't they there?
It was an odd concept done quite poorly, I would say.
Hmm. Yeah, but it's meant to be a feel good. It's something you could watch maybe on a Sunday or at Christmas.
Yeah,
There.
potentially, possibly.